Another fight week for you. This one must feel a little different, though, literally, physically. You don't have, an extra 10 pounds to cut like you normally would. Just how does that feel right now?
It feels great, man. Sometimes I go to, before I go to bed, I'll hop on the scale. I'm like, whoa. I feel like I gotta eat something, which it's a nice, I've been getting better sleep and stuff like that. My energy levels are great. I'm excited, man, to get in there.
Yeah, so why is this fight at lightweight? I spoke with Tay in the last media session. He said that he got the call on Christmas Eve to do this fight and had a donut in hand, literally, that he had to put down. Was this your choice to move up, or was this just because of the time frame?
No, it was my choice. I had tried fight. Well, the UFC had asked me after my last fight if I wanted to fight Ryan Hall in September, and I was like, yeah, I'll fight him. I'll fight him 55. And he came back and told the UFC that he walks around a little bit over 55. He wants to fight at 45. So I was like, all right, whatever. And then I see he fights BJ Penn at 55. I'm like, yo, dude, what's up with that? No, but after the last fight, I think the last 10 pounds that I cut to get down to 45 really zaps me. When I do all my testing and get all my numbers for how strong and fast and my endurance, I weigh about 160, 165, so cutting 20 pounds from that, I think really zaps those numbers.
Yeah, definitely. So what have you done in terms of preparation? Have you added any mass in terms of muscle or anything like that, or is it just like you just said there, it's not really just having to put yourself through that extra bit of hell?
Well, I think I cut a lot. Obviously I cut a ton of fat and stuff like that. Well, not a ton, but and I also cut a lot of muscle to make 145. Whereas this is kind of where my body likes to be and compete at. When I wrestled collegiately in college, I didn't win one wrestling match internationally or anything like that at 145 and a half, but I was a freestyle All-American at 154.
Yeah.
So I think there's something to be said about that.
Yeah, interesting. And what are you kind of expecting out of this weight class, though? Because there's some big boys out there, right? There's some guys who are playing from 180, 190, stuff like that. So do you think that's going to be an interesting situation to encounter once you get a matchup with someone like that?
Yeah, for sure. But the thing is, the guys that I train with, Chris Wade, Gregor Gillespie, Ali Quinta, those guys are all doing very well at lightweight, and when I work out with those guys, it's very, very competitive, Not every day is my day, not every day is their day, So, and those guys are doing great, So I compare myself to that.
Yeah, and do you feel any extra pressure going into this? It seems like it's kind of a fresh coat of paint, right? Moving up a division, but obviously, there has been the losing skid and stuff. So, how much is that weighing on you going into this fight?
I just don't really care. If caring adds extra pressure or something, I'm just gonna go out there and do what I do and win, lose, or draw. Hey man, as long as I go in there and give it my best, if I'm get cold feet and freeze up, then I'll be pissed at myself. But I've been working on my mental and stuff like that, and we're gonna be good.
Yeah.
We're gonna have fun.
Yeah, and what's the key to victory in this fight for you? Obviously, you've been in there with the absolute best. Tay lost his UFC debut. He's looking to rebound and all that kind of stuff. Do you think experience plays a huge factor in here? Is it just you have superior skills? What's going to be the difference here?
Yeah, I think my seniority will play a part in terms of when to push, when to pull back, when to coast, when to go hard. But I'm looking to go hard the whole thing, Again, with this 10 extra pounds, I think I have more gas in the tank than I ever have shown in the UFC. And the keys, to victory are pressure, getting in his face, high volume, and just staying focused the whole fight.
Yeah, and you mentioned Ryan Hall earlier. Is that a fight that still interests you after this one? If you can, the weight class thing seems like it could be an issue, but it seems like you weren't too pleased you ended up fighting BJ instead of you.
We'll see. I'm kind of on if this fight goes very well and I I finished Tay within the first 2 rounds, and I'm not banged up. Like, all right, let's run it in a month, dude. I'll get back in here in a month.
What do you think of his style? Obviously, very interesting. That finish of BJ was pretty crazy to witness. But do you see a lot of threat out of him? What do you just make of Ryan Hall as a fighter? Because he's definitely kind of unique in the sport.
Yeah, I mean, he's an assassin on the heel hooks and stuff like that, and jiu-jitsu just won't let it go there. Like, you're not taking me down, and you're not knocking me out. And I'll just kick a hole in your chest, a hole in your head, punch a hole in your head. I'll just keep moving so you can't touch my legs,
And you mentioned have a quick turnaround if this fight goes well. Is there a specific card that you're looking at that has your interest? Or, there's so many events in the first half of this year. I think up until June there's 21 fight cards or something. So is it anything, or is there a date or location that interests you?
No, I haven't looked past Tay. So I'm looking to just take care of business, and then maybe we'll look at a calendar.